Good morning. Today I'm going to talk about some of the potential applications of Issulog and take you through some of the scenarios that you may encounter in your company itself. Let's start by taking an example of a new product design in a company. What normally happens when a new product is designed? First of all, the idea may come from a sales and marketing team. In this example, we would assume that John in Michigan has come up with a great idea, but he wants to have it manufactured, and the operations is in London, headed by Alice. Normally what would happen, they would have a conversation on the telephone or by email. But Alice herself has to source the material and the requirement that she will have to follow up, and that is based in Shanghai. She also engages in a conversation with Louis in Shanghai. In the meantime, John talks to the design team in Denver, in which Mary is their collaborators, and they will have side discussion on some of the ideas and product information that they may need to capture to be able to engage in the new design. Alice, in the meantime, will talk to Mary and they will push it on. Subsequently, lots of communication happens downstream between the subsidiary teams, and they talk to one another by email or by telephone conversation until they engage into the raw material sourcing, which is likely to come from the suppliers that are contacted by Louis in Shanghai. And overseeing all this is Linda in a finance team. So what will be the steps involved in a typical application? Normally, a budget will be allocated to the project. There will be email conversation, there will be attachment, document, specification sent about to the right people, sometimes not quite the right people. There will be phone calls, instruction and training for the people with the right qualification and understanding of the process. Meetings will be taking place, and for that there will be some flight bookings, hotels and other logistical travel. Team managers need to have a good understanding of who they will bring on to make sure that the new product design is a success. They base themselves on the experience of their team, and hence they do the knowledge searching within the team, or alternatively they engage in training. As a result, there may be some delays encountered, and they will have to manage the delays to make sure that the project ends up on time. There will also communication errors, misunderstanding of what the spec was meant to be and what the customer actually expected. Subsequently, some of the work has to be done again. But in general, the job will get done. But would it have been done efficiently or cost effectively? We very often overlook these two factors as long as the job is done, and we buffer in some assumption on the delays that will be incurred. But if we have to do the job again, do we have to resort to individual people? Very often that is the case when we have specially trained people that we keep to do the job again and again. And some unfortunately do come, and some of them do leave us. And as the project is being managed, do we have a central vision of what was happening and what the conversation was centrally? If we have to do it again, can we do it quicker? But let me tell you about the Issulog approach. Issulog uses a slightly different approach. All of the fundamental principles are the same. We will involve the same teams in the whole process. So John's team will be still involved in Michigan, Alice, Louis in Shanghai, the Denver team for the design, and Alice's team will also be involved. So will be the procurement team liaising with the suppliers. But what is different in the Issulog approach is we would create an Issulog envelope where all the subtasks are included in the Issulog. And the way a different team will communicate will not be to one another in a random way that there would be through the specific issue task allocated to the issue log. Hence, if Alice needs to talk to the quality assurance team because she will be part of a communication channel, they would have this direct conversation while John can oversee the conversation taking place and not getting involved as such. So let's take a walk into Issulog itself to see how this is configured. I will start by logging into Issulog. The company I was talking about is a company called Orbit, and it's a fictitious company called Orbit Corp, which I will take you through by logging in with an administrator account. As I log in, you can see there are some tasks. A calendar appears to me with some tasks already prepared in it. I will give you a quick overview before we go to the specific task I was discussing regarding the product design. If I scroll down, I can see the tasks allocated day by day with the logo telling me the status of the task. The green indicates the task has been started and is in progress. The amber shows that the task is ready to be started once the necessary groups are involved to start it. These are the summary of the task that's available to me to be done on that day. It doesn't have to be done on the specific day, but it is an ongoing task that can overlap several days. As I scroll down, you will see a series of them. But if I click on the Provide Specification task, for example, it will take me down to the detail of that issue task, and that task will have had conversation associated with it as well as documents. Any secured user with the right privileges can contribute to it. In this example, you can see that John is actually in charge of this task, and the task has been assigned to it by Mary. Mary has appended a document to this task for the commercial review. And this is an example drawing that will be used as a starting block for the product design. As you may appreciate, in a fictitious and that example, the information may not be accurate, but the general flow of information is the same. John can associate some checklists that need to be done in the operation, and in an example, providing the specification was requested by Alice, and it has been done. And she has also attached an example of the specification to use, which, as a generic example, will allow the operations team to proceed and make something out of it, asking the right question. We also see from the engineering side that heat and mass balance will have to be done and hasn't been done. In this example of an issue task, you can also see that the material and worker requirement are attached to this task. I can attach that at any time by selecting the options available to me. I can complete the task as it is in progress, and the security allowing me to do that. I can invite other people. I can add participants, checklist requirements, and I can also consume the material for financial purposes so that we know what has been consumed. We can allocate the cash to. I will take you back to the original task, which was the issue log itself. When I go into issue log, it shows information day by day, and it also shows me the tasks involved in the specific issue log. In this example, I can see that the material sourcing, the design of the exhauster, operation tasks are all attached in one. And the completion of the task is also added as a step in which there will be a meeting with John, Mary,